family want to keep it for the future, anything, by all means, you're encouraged to do so. All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to call on the Old Agency Singers.
You think I would do this enough times I would catch my breath right away. I had an honor to ask do this capturing ceremony. I just want to say, Hoki Abetstapi, Nadanago, Ixkano Demikna Sohi. My parents are Lambert Fox and late Yvonne Peltier Fox. I wanted to share my 4 stories and my accomplishments and stuff that I've done in my past. I'm honored to be here to be captured Apollo. I just wanted to say my first story. I was sent to MCRD San Diego Marine Corps Recruit Depot, where I received my boot camp, and I went to North to Camp Pendleton to receive my School of Infantry training. And then I went to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, where I attended my MOS school. I graduated top of my class, so I got a choice of my first duty station, and I chose Japan, Okinawa, Japan. And from there, I was stationed overseas, and they call it the Far East Tour. At that time, during the G8 summit was held in Okinawa, Japan. At the time, I met President-elect Bill Clinton and his daughter, Chelsea. And I served my first full year there so I can come home so they can hit the drum. The reason why I was able to travel overseas and share that story with you is that there was always something that I had the courage to do something new, courage to seek something different, courage to become a warrior. I want to bless my new friend here, my cousin, Apollo, that he has the courage to go out and seek and journey the world, to travel and seek new things. My second story that I have is I went to serve my first year in Okinawa, Japan, so I came back to Marine Corps Station Yuma. Shortly thereafter, I became an instructor over and did my instructor training in Camp Pendleton, California, where I was doing our training there for about 6 months. When I came, on our last day of our graduation, before we were going to just finish our tests, it was during 9/11, September 11th, when World Trade Center, where the Twin Towers were attacked. We were first one we had sat there, and our instructor came over and told us, "Hey, drop your pens, come over and take a look at the news." So we all dropped our pens, ran into the office there, and we were watching the World Trade Center go on fire. As we're standing there watching the news, that's when we seen the second plane crash into the World Trade Center. We all just stood there in shock and awe, looking at it. And then my instructor looks at us and says, "Yep, boys, we're going to war." And that's how I became an instructor. After that, we became real that we were going to be training Marines to go to Afghanistan, to Iraq, part of Operation Enduring Freedom. During part of Operation Enduring Freedom, we trained over 10,000 Marines to get ready to be deployed overseas. And during one of my training, I had a gentleman come back to my room. I was doing a field day, which is cleaning up our barracks and get inspected once a week. And this gentleman came up to me. He says, Lance Corporal Fox. He goes, "I want to talk to you." I said, "All right, sure, come on in." He says, so he came in and talked to my room, and he told me, he says, "I just got back from Afghanistan." I said, "Oh, wow." Really happy. "I'm glad you made it back safe." He goes, "Yeah." He says, "But I want to tell you a story." He says, "I was over at a forward operating base in Afghanistan, and I had a gentleman," and then he says that we came under a chemical attack. And I said, "All I remember is hearing your voice telling me how to put on a on and clear a gas mask and get back into the fight." And he told me, the only way that I survived that attack was, and I just remember hearing your words, said, "You used to be able to, when you're training out in Yuma, Arizona, it's 118 degrees Fahrenheit. And you had us out in that field, snapping into these barrels, sighting in. And every time you'd say, 'Gas, gas, gas.' And we had to take our gas mask out, dawn and clear it, get back into the fight, just keep going on." You did it for hours on end. And I hated you for that, because you were so hot. We were all wearing our battle gear. You're standing there yelling at us. But then when it came down to the fight, your words is what rang through my mind, and what is what I remember, and that's how I survived. So the luck that I was able to come back unscathed, I'm passing that luck on. With the training that you have, you could do good at the Olympics. I pray for you that you have a safe travel there. So I hit my third story is I got out of the United States Marine Corps. I was I was just in Marine. I got deployed over to Iraq during Operation Enduring Freedom. We got on the boat heading to on the USS Bonhoeffer Short out of the Pacific, out of San Diego. And I told my dad about a week before we were going. I said, "Dad," I said, "guess where I'm going?" I said, "I'm going to Iraq." He goes, "Oh, geez, when are you leaving?" I said, "On January 18th, 2003. And he's like, "Holy cow." And I was like, "When are you leaving?" I said, "I'm leaving on that date, and then we're going to be shipping out to heading to Iraq." So then less than a week's notice, grabbed all our gear, loaded up on the ship, and we headed over to Iraq. We stopped in Guam because our ship had broken down when we made it out to the Persian Gulf. From there, we were doing circles there, waiting for our orders to hit the beach. Once we got our orders, we headed to Kuwait, landed in Doha. From there, we went to wait at the southern border of Iraq, the northern border of Kuwait, waiting on that side to get our orders to head north to Baghdad. So when we got our orders, finally we headed north. I was attached to part of Combat Service Detachment 16, and I had was part of the security forces for the diesel fuel refueling trucks. And a lot of things that Iraqis had done is they got rid of the uniforms and deployed guerrilla warfare tactics. And how they did that is they took all the uniforms off and they just basically attacked us in plain clothes. We didn't know who was shooting at us. We didn't know who was firing at us. All we know is that there was rounds coming down range trying to attack the supply line. I was able to make it through that unscathed, come home unhurt, as we made our way and successfully hit Iraq and to Baghdad. We made it, marched our way to Baghdad, and at the time, President George Bush had said that, he declared that was a victory. So I came home and then I talked to my dad, and he was telling me, he says, when you left, I was so scared. I didn't think you were going to come home. But I asked for prayers from different societies on a reserve, from the Horn Society, the Buffalo Women's Society, the Brave Dogs. We all prayed for you. So we're praying that you come home unhurt, unscathed. And I'm passing those prayers on to Apollo so that he has a safe journey to wherever he's going to the Olympics, that he may have a safe turn home again with a medal around his neck. Aho. My fourth and final story, my testament, is I was, after I got out of the Marine Corps, I became a police officer with Blood Tribe Police Service, Lakeshore Regional Police Service, and also Tsuut'ina Nation Police Service. I worked for those different departments, but I was sent to training in RCMP depot in Regina, Saskatchewan. And when I got there, I became the right marker of my troop, which is the kind of the leader of our troop. I march everybody to each classes, make sure everybody's there, kind of responsible for the morale and taking care of the other police officers, the other recruits. And for 6 months, and at that time, they always say that the right marker never lasts the entire time, but the entire time I never got fired as being a right marker. I graduated being a right marker, and then in 150 years of policing at the recruit depot, they never had a non-RCMP member lead the RCMP troop. And with my training that I received, my sister always used to ask me, she's like, why do you do stuff like this? You're a Marine, now you're a cop. She asked me, why do you do this? And I told her, well, my motto I always thought to myself is I protect the ones that cannot protect themselves. Protect the ones in the public and the families that suffer from domestic violence, other people that are victims of crime. And I always wanted to pass on that protection. And I'll be praying for you when you go overseas to the Olympics, and I'll pray for your safe return. So they beat the drum.
So just to let everyone know, this first song, it's just going to be the three of them, Patrick, Apollo, and JR. Oh, and Six Up, his helper. So this first song, it will just be the four of them. And then right after, we'll have an honor song, and that's where anyone can get up and join in on the honor song. So we'll, those of you that can, you could please rise. I've never seen Six Up, so nervous. Right on. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the honor song, and then we'll hear from Six Up right after.
Hoki Nuksukwa, Stuanakoka, Binakwim. Chief Makinima asked me to be here today for the honoring of our brother here. You know, it's not too often that that we have athletes that that reach this level, and we're so proud of him. Council's proud of him. I know all of his peers are. You know, and he's really living up to his name. His name means ocean boy. It's Mootoyaohkii, which means ocean boy. All of us cousins, we call him Shark Boy, though. Yeah, but we're really proud of him. You know, Ghana, we've had all kinds of champions in all kinds of sports, world champions. You know, and we've never had a swimmer. In Canada has never had a swimmer either. So he's the first Indigenous swimmer for Team Canada ever, and you know, in the history of the Olympics. Yeah. And he's also the first blood swimmer that's going to be representing us at the Olympics. So, you know, it's a really important day for us to honor Apollo here. You know, it's I know Makiniwa wanted to be here too. He had an important engagement with one of the ministers, so he couldn't be here today, and he wanted to send his regrets. So I'm happy to be here representing him, and you know, I'm really proud of our brother here, and I know how much time and effort and sacrifice he's made to get to where he's at today. And you know, he's a shining example of what our youth can do if they have the right support and they have you know, a good team around them, guiding them in the right direction. So, you know, I know he's living in Toronto now, and he has I think it's called some elite. What is it called? High performance center. So they watch everything he eats. They watch, you know, his training schedule is pretty rigid every day. He said he gets free massages. Yeah, but he's doing really well, and you know, his whole days are regimented. Everything he does is geared towards, you know, heading to the Olympics. And I remember when the trials came along, I was talking with him, and he said, you know, it's gonna be really hard, and you know, there's lots of good swimmers and all that. And I told him, well, you need to believe in yourself. You know, you need to speak it into existence that you're gonna go out there and you're gonna win. And you know, if there's one thing that we do have, it's our language, Nitsipus, and when we say something, it's powerful. Hey, you know, and prayer out Simoikan. You know, our prayers are powerful. So you know, I told him he needs to believe in himself, and you know, and just know that he has something that none of these other competitors have, and that's our ways, you know. So when he does go to the Olympics, he's representing us, but he's bringing all of us with him when he goes, you know. And when he was honored with those 4 stories, what he does with those stories is he gives him the power of those stories that he can carry with him on his journey. So now he's carrying all of this with him, and he's representing all of us, and he's taking us all with him to Paris. So we really want you to know how proud we are of you, and that we're all behind you. You know, when we do this honor dance and all of your family and friends are behind you, it's because they're supporting you and that they believe in you, that you can do good there. So if there's anything I want you to take from today, it's that we're all behind you. You know, you're representing our tribe, and we're all proud of you. Even on council, we keep updated on what you're doing, and Makinima is always asking about you know, how you did at your trials and all that. So yeah, we're all proud of you, and I hope you can take all of this power from home. You know, really take it in, pray before you go, and that you'll have a good journey, and that you'll do well there, and that you know that we're all behind you. So yeah, so on behalf of Chief of Council, I wanted to present him with a check for $5,000 just to get started, to assist in your training. And this is just the start. I told him that we're really going to take care of him if he made the Olympics. So here's yeah. So proud. Yeah. So we're just happy to be here with you all. I know Makinima would like to be here if he could, but he had a very important engagement. So yeah, I guess after this, he's going to be able. Apollo is going to be available to sign. He has some things to sign over there. So if you need pictures with him, or you want to send him some good words on his way, then the opportunity will be just following this. So just give him a round of applause, Apollo Hess. Thank you.
No, thank you, Binakoyam, for sharing those good words. And that's all we wanted today, was just to share good words. And so, and of course, the honoring. There's no higher honor than what we could have did this morning with the headdress. So, I want to call on Dr. Genevieve Fox to come up to make a presentation.
Olympian Mootoyaohkii and Nixokwax. Kithonax matsum opwa on Oxysticoi. Oigixco to Tamat beyond on Oxysticoi. And the way we've honored our son, grandson, great grandson, great nephew. And I also want to thank the parents. I know, Ingrid, you've done a lot for your son, and also for Jason. And I want to remind our nephew here that Makinima is so proud of you, so proud of whatever you have accomplished so far. And I know you will accomplish more in the future. And remember that your grandfather was a golden boy. So he would be very proud of you. And your great-grandfather was known as Superman. So he was a great athlete himself. And also remember our ancestors. The blood of your ancestors on both sides runs in your veins. And be strong. Continue to do well. Whatever you do, we are behind you. And I wanted to give this to you. Makinima asked me to give this to you. It's he's only given one of these away once in his lifetime. So this medallion is only one other medallion that you will receive, but this is in honor of your accomplishments. It is one of the treaty medallions. You'll have to take your headdress and I'll put it on. Wait, this way. Yeah, he would have been here, but I know he's spoken to you several times, and he will continue to encourage you, and I know he'll meet with you before you leave. So congratulations again on behalf of our family.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is from our family. I'm also your relative from my family, so that's from. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
This is the case for that. Yeah.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Okay, kita connect sa matsim huan noch ka kiskanotnis. Tsekhtachsi tang noch kitkanautoch swa. Akita tituisto am sahkumapi, iksukapi am akita po ki ameki anistespumui kitslapi minnun po keks eskamia essamia igaksukapi issuchts aks po keks asitapiks akides sammia kidanskimsta nistu takukatannists ki mats kinim anni ihtuuto pannoh ako kitaklut smuas kitatsmui kannan ki tsiksiniitsi siksapo utatsmui kannan yami kutsi sa nistu wannago is tsohkitstema siksgani namuhtuuto I just wanted to introduce myself. Jack Royal, I'm from Siksika, and now I'm kind of from Moses Lake too, I guess. So I'm gonna run for the mayor of Moses Lake. No, I just wanted to acknowledge everybody here today, and just I won't take too long, say a few words, and I wanted to just really encourage or motivate or whatever we can to help you through our prayers. And the ceremony, I think, was mentioned that it's the biggest honor that you can get, and it's not given every day to just anybody. And there's a reason why all these people are here. And there's an acknowledgement that you have a strength, and that strength comes from Gistunno and Siksikates Tapio, from the Blackfoot people, from the Confederacy, from Guyana, and all of our ancestors. And you can feel that when you can feel that drum. You can feel, I'm sure you feel, in our way you say ikskunatap. It's very strong. It's a spiritual strength. So you carry that with you. When you go, you're going to a foreign land, a foreign country. And when you're there, you think about all of this, and you put yourself back to that ground where you came from, and say, this is where I come from, this is who I am, this is where my strength comes from. And all these people here are only the tip of the iceberg of all the people that are behind you. So I'm with the Blackfoot Confederacy, and I'm here on behalf of all of, not only Guyana, but Siksika, Apatsipikani, the Northern Pagan, and the Southern Pagan, Amskapipikani. They're all thinking about you. And what I mentioned was that you're a role model to a lot of these children. Whether you want it to be or not, you are. And these people are looking towards you as a role model. And they're you're going to open doors for these children and these people and our people, so that in the future you're blazing this trail that's going to open the doors for other people. So it's a big, honor to do that, and it's a big step, but you're laying that groundwork for them, and that's why you're being honored. So, and regardless of what happens, you've accomplished something already. You've accomplished a lot. So I just wanted to say, think about that moving forward. Not to give you any more pressure or anything. It's a great honor to have, your people behind you like that. And think about, how you felt here today. That strength, that spiritual strength. Our way of life, our spiritual life, our Blackfoot way of life. That's what's going to ground you and keep you strong. And you ask for that strength when you're there, wherever you are in life. You ask for them, and they'll be there to help you. And it's all of our ancestors that brought us. The strength that they had is what brought us here today. So with that, I want to congratulate you. We want to say thank you. We want to wish you luck. And we have some gifts here. I will leave them with you. We give a blanket in our ways, and I think we're supposed to wrap you in it, really. But I'll leave that. And then we've also there's some money or a check in there. So we wanted to give you a monetary donation from all of the Confederacy. So on behalf of all of the chiefs and the Blackfoot Confederacy, we wanted to say thank you and congratulations. Yeah. So,
Okay. I'm glad all of you have come to support Apollo and his lifelong endeavor and reaching a great milestone and representing not only the Blood Tribe, but Canada as well. I just want to say that with the prayers, with the traditional ceremony that took place today, we are still very strong with the Blood Tribe, Blackfoot Confederacy. We're very proud of who we are, and we're here, as Jack mentioned, because of our ancestors, and you carry forward those those reasons why we're here today and why our young people are so important in our ways. So with that, I'd like to present you with a gift from KRI and the Blood Tribe.
Again, thank you all for coming. So without further ado, let's give a big warm welcome to Apollo Hess, our first Olympian.
All right, I want to start out by saying thank you to Tony Delaney, McKinneyma, and Clayton Blood for organizing this event. First off, it's just like an insane honor to be here today, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who came out and like took time off their busy days and schedules to come here and celebrate. So that means a lot to me. So yeah, thank you for everybody who came out. For those of you, well, pretty much everybody here I know, but for those of you who don't know me personally, I'm going to kind of share my story. My name's Apollo Fox Hess, or Mootoyaohkii, and my grandfather was Norbert Fox, and my grandmother was Georgette Fox. I grew up in Lethbridge, and I was connected to the community because, in large part because of my mom's efforts. She involved me in different cultural activities like sweats, powwows, and Sundance every year. I grew up playing sports with many kids on the reserve. So I played native provincials and treaties with two of my closest childhood buddies, Jet and Sage over here. A big part of my development as an Indigenous person was the love I received from many of you here today. Give like a quick shout out to my auntie Shauna Fox, my auntie Rowan, who's looking down on me today. My uncles Jim Tailfeathers and Charlton Weaselhead. My auntie Esther Tailfeathers, who means the world to me. Angie and Kenny Creighton, and my uncle Roy Fox. It's in large part because of these efforts and all these people that helped me like stay connected to the community. That they made me feel like I belonged. And it was kind of hard for me growing up because I didn't grow up on the reserve. But yeah, thanks again to all these people who made me feel like I belonged. I kind of always knew from a young age that being a world-class athlete was my calling, and I didn't always know what the path was to get there, but I kind of always knew in the back of my mind that I would make it someday in some way. I played pretty much every sport available to me. I did hockey, football, soccer, swimming, track and field, cross country, like pretty much everything. I don't know how my mom did it. She's a superhero. So, I was always like cut from the tier teams in hockey. I never really made any like big teams. And that's kind of why I liked swimming, and I gravitated towards swimming, was because in swimming there was no politics, and it didn't matter what your last name was or who your parents were. All that mattered was that you get your hand on the wall before the other person, and then you can make it anywhere. So I suffered a couple concussions when I played hockey and football, and I started fully committing to swimming when I was about 14. I swam at the LA Swim Club in Lethbridge with my head coach, Peter Shorey, and it was pretty cool because I started out, I wasn't so great. I didn't really like training. I would skip some practices. And I went from, qualifying for provincials, and then next year I was winning provincials, and then the year after that I would qualify for nationals, and then start getting on the podium at nationals. And so I had this really close connection with my coach, and we've been so far together. And yeah, I graduated from LCI in 2020, and from there I swam for 2 years at the University of Lethbridge. Well, technically 3 years, but I used 2 years of eligibility. In my first year, I won 2 national titles at the U Sports National Championships, and from there I was invited to try out the National High Performance Center in Toronto, and I didn't end up making the move until August of last year. But this past year of my life has been so difficult. There's so many times I didn't really believe in myself, and there were so many people around me who did believe in me, and I went to Greensboro, North Carolina for the U.S. Open Championships in December. I did so badly, and I was just so down. Then a month later, I went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and also did pretty poorly. And it just kind of seemed like nothing was really working out to that point. And I kind of turned things around a little bit. I kind of shifted my mentality and tried to just tell myself that I could do it. I kind of developed this thing with my coaches where I kept feeling like after I raced, I would let them down. And so we got into this routine where after every race, I'd text my mom. I'm like, I'm sorry, Mom. I would tell my coaches, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I'm doing everything I can. It was just not working out. And we went on training camp to Florida in April. And I sat down with my coaches. We had a team meeting. And one of the things we kind of promised was that no matter what happened at Olympic trials, it was that we wouldn't apologize to one another afterwards. And no matter what happens, we'd just be happy. Just so many times, and especially in the past year, just didn't really believe in myself. And I vividly remember I think it was May of last year, I was driving, I went to dinner with my mom, and I was driving back home with her. And for we were talking about qualifying for the Olympics, and it was kind of just more of a dream at this point. It wasn't really a reality. And I told her, I was like, Mom, I have no doubts that if I move away to Toronto and if I go chase this dream, that I can make it. And she said, well, why don't we do it? And I just told her, I was like, I can't afford it. It's crazy. But my mom said, we would afford it together. And I couldn't be here without you, Mom. So thank you. I came across a quote one time. I don't know. I feel like most of you guys know who Conor McGregor is. He's kind of a weirdo. I don't really draw too much inspiration from him, but he said this one thing that really resonated with me. And he said, if you can see it in here in your mind, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. And so I kind of adopted this quote into my life, and I started speaking things into existence. Like I said, I told my mom I was going to be an Olympian one day. I kind of just manifested all this stuff together. And like what Pinaquim said, words are very powerful. And just this is kind of a life lesson that I've learned that hopefully some of you can take on as well, is that if you have a dream and you really want it for yourself, you just speak it. You speak it out into the universe and it will happen. And that's pretty much my story to this point. I just want to thank you guys all again for coming out and taking time out of your day to be here. I've been swimming in swim club since I was about 6, but